leg she had planted for that reverse lunge. Soft bend in that knee, glute squeeze, abs walled up, and she's gonna row with the opposite arm here. So she knows how. That's a pretty challenging. So let's say that this band's a little too heavy. The way you do this is you unlock both bands. Notice how Katie's still trying to stay on that one foot. You can grab both bands with each hand, and now you would row with the arm here, the opposite arm of the standing leg, so shoulders down and away. Now she could probably step back a little bit further again because this is a little bit lighter. Soft bend in that knee, grab the inside of your shoe. The goal here is just to activate some of those stabilization muscles in that standing leg to really improve your balance and add a little bit of dynamic movement here. Now, if you're struggling to maintain your balance, focus on standing on that single leg before you add that row in. You could use those bands for support and then add that row in as you're feeling comfortable. We'll go over to the other side for the PALLOF press, facing the other direction for the same amount of time, and then we'll come back to that single leg, single arm row here, working that other leg again and that other arm here. And again, if you want this to be more challenging with the resistance, you can step back a little further. You can also put those bands together to make it a little bit heavier, but you can see that's pretty challenging here. And then we will go back to the hang for 45 to 60 seconds to finish this setup. Okay, after we're done with our dead hang and core work and balance work here, we're gonna move on to some power development. So we have two exercises we're gonna work on. The first one's gonna be our sled squat row. So we'll get our suspension trainer set up on the sled here, and now we're gonna step back so that those arms are straight. Step in just a little bit further. Now this one can throw you off a little bit because you're actually gonna lean back more than squat down. So now if Juice let go of those handles, she would fall back. It seems scary at first because you think you're gonna slide anyway. That sled's gonna hold you up. So she's sitting into it. Now she's gonna drive backwards, and as she does, she's gonna yank those handles right toward her chest. So this is our squat row. Deep breath in, push that air out. You wanna think about power on every one. Each one is as hard as you can. Again, we don't want this to be real heavy. We want this to really help us warm up the body, get those muscles activated, get everything firing at the same time. You're gonna drive all the way down, so as many reps as it takes. You really want that sled sliding right at your feet, nice and fast. Deep breath in. You can notice how Juice is really forcing that air out as she pulls. Once you get down to this end, you'll move away from the sled. We're gonna come over to the wall, and we're gonna work our wall ball slam. So you're gonna grab a slam ball at your chest. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna step forward with one leg, and as you do, you're gonna slam that ball against that wall. So it's a deep breath in, slam that ball against that wall. I don't know if this wall's gonna take it though.
Oh no.
Juice is angry today. So you're gonna do 5 with one leg stepping forward, switch legs, 5 on the other side here. Deep breath in, slam that ball as hard as you can. And once you're done with your 5 and 5, give yourself 60 to 90 seconds to breathe and recover, and we'll get 2 to 3 sets in. So for the strength training portion of this workout, we're gonna be doing 2 different alternating sets, which means that we're gonna have 2 groups of 2 exercises. We're gonna be working a 5 rep range, which means that you wanna find a weight that challenges you to complete 5, possibly a 6th rep, but you don't wanna be able to do 8 to 12 reps with that weight because you're not going to get as strong as we'd like you to. The goal here is to really challenge those muscles with some heavier weight here. So the first exercise we're going to work on is our reverse lunge or Bulgarian squat. So for the reverse lunge, you have a couple options here. The first one is going to be setting up with that suspension trainer. So notice how Juice is straight up and down. Those arms are right there at her ribs, so she can squeeze those ribs with her arms. And she's going to step back into that reverse lunge. Now, you can touch that foot down, squeezing that back glute, and then drive back up here on that front leg. If that seems a little too easy for you, you can challenge yourself in that stability and balance here by not touching that foot down as you go down here. So you're gonna have to rely on that suspension trainer. That knee can move out over the midfoot a little bit, but what we're looking for is that it doesn't slide back. So show them what it looks like when they rock back. We don't want to rock back through here. We want to think about that weight staying over the midfoot. That knee stays over the midfoot, weight on that front leg. Drive on up and squeeze that glute. Use the suspension trainers as much as you need to maintain that proper posture. Deep breath in on the way down, squeezing that glute. Drive on up, squeeze that standing leg glute at the top here. You'll do 5 on one leg and then 5 on the other. Now, if you're feeling confident with your stability and you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, First of all, to qualify for this, you're gonna need to be able to do 5 reps on each leg without touching down. From there, we can try the Bulgarian squat. So for the Bulgarian squat, we'll get that suspension trainer set up so that the loop is about mid-shin. For this one, you're gonna step a little further away from the beam here. Now, you're gonna use your opposite hand to put your foot in. So Juice is gonna start with her she's gonna start with her left foot in the suspension trainer, which means she's gonna grab with her right hand, reach back, put that foot into the suspension trainer. And now from here, notice how she's pulling her toe toward her knee. She's pushing this heel into the handle. This is going to provide more support for your knee as you work this exercise. She's stabilized on that right leg. She's going to squeeze that left glute as she goes down. Again, knee stays over the midfoot here and ankle, and then dries back up. Deep breath in on the way down, bending this knee. Notice how this leg rocks back with the suspension trainer, but she's focused on that front leg doing that work. Drive on up. Now, of course, as you're working this, you can add some weight. If you get to that point, we'll show you how to hold that either in a goblet position or an offset position here. Drive up, 5 on one side, grab that suspension trainer pulled off, switch your hand, put the other foot in. So you notice how Juice is now on her, standing on her left leg, squeezing that right glute as she goes down, toe pulled toward the knee, handle pushed, or heel pushed into the handle, drive up, squeeze that glute tight at the top, maintain form throughout that foot. So you want that weight distributed through that whole foot, focus on that heel at the top, driving through the floor. You'll do 5 on one side, 5 on the other here. From there, our second exercise, we're gonna work our chin-ups here. So we have a few different variations or options for you here. If you want, you can use the suspension trainer. Remember, we get that suspension trainer super short for this one. You'll use a box, take that slack out, get that foot set up in the loop here, going with either that chin-up grip, which is our supinated grip, or our pronated pull-up grip. Using that leg as much as you need to at the top, pull your chest at the bar. The secret here, the key here, is to use your leg as much as you need to, but as little as you have to get that full range of motion. Drive on up, 5 reps. From there, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can try using one of our super bands. For this one, we pull that band down, get that foot set up in there. Again, grab the bar with whichever grip you want to work here, and then that band is going to give you a little bit of assistance. Deep breath in on the way down, push that air out, pull your chest up to the bar, deep breath. Now, obviously, with this one, you can work a smaller band as you're getting stronger, or you can go without the band here as well, just a traditional chin-up. If those options aren't feeling comfortable for you and you still want to, or you still need to find another option here, we will go with our half kneeling lat pull down here. So you'll get one of those bands set up with the handles. We're gonna go into our half kneeling position. So now Juice has got that back glute squeeze nice and tight, tuck this toe under here. So you're gonna really tuck this tailbone, squeeze those glutes, pull those handles down towards your chest. Think about pushing or pulling your shoulder blades and elbows into your back pocket. As you're pulling, I really want you to focus on driving that hip forward here, and then deep breath in as you pull or go up, push that air out as you pull down. Every time you come back to this one, it's still 5 reps. When you come back, just make sure you're on the other knee so we get some balance on that one as well. So our second alternating set of exercises here is going to be squats and push-ups. So for the squats, you have a few options here. We'll start with our goblet squat. So for the goblet squat, you're gonna grab a kettlebell, clean it up to your chest, get those elbows in tight. Here, we're thinking about spreading the floor with those feet. Sit your butt back, push those knees apart as you go down. Deep breath in, drive up, squeeze those glutes, pushing that air out, nice and controlled. Pausing at the bottom, deep breath in, drive on up. Now, if you're feeling like you can go heavier here, but a big kettlebell is not very comfortable, you can grab 2 dumbbells here, get those dumbbells set up at your shoulders. Notice how Juice is actually letting the dumbbells kind of rest on her shoulders, so she's not doing a lot of work with those arms to hold them up here. Now, same movement though, sit that butt back, deep breath in, drive on up. Deep breath, spread those knees, think about pushing the floor apart with your feet, drive up, squeeze those glutes tight at the top. Now, if you've been working with us before and you've already tried the barbell, that can be another option for you, but only after we see clean reps with that goblet squat or dumbbell squat. So for the bar, we get it set up here. We'll put whatever weight you're looking for on here. Get set up underneath the bar. Make sure the knurling is centered in your back here. Step up, just take one small step out. And from here, all the movements are similar here. Sit your butt back into that chair, chest up, deep breath in, push that air out here, nice and controlled. Think about pushing those knees apart and spreading the floor with your feet on the way up and down. Get a full extension through those legs. At the top, when you're done, all you have to do is step that bar forward till you feel it hit the squat rack, let it go down, and then come out under it. From there, we're gonna go into our push-ups. So you have a lot of options with those push-ups. Obviously, Juice right now is going to use those handles to show you a safe way for you, or a little more comfortable for those wrists here. Whatever push-up variation you're going to work here, but we're going to start from that push-up plank position. Glutes are squeezed, tailbones tucked, ribs are tucked, pushing that back up toward the ceiling. She's going to squeeze those shoulder blades on the way down. Deep breath in, push that air as you drive back up. Again, deep breath in, push that air out, kneecaps stay forward for this. We want to think a lot of core work here. Everything's engaged, squeeze and press. Now, if you are struggling to get those push-ups in from your toes, you can use the risers and the bench here. For this one, you figure out how many risers you need, get those hands set up, but everything else from that position or from that point is the same. Moving plank position, squeeze those shoulder blades, get that chest down to the box, and then press up. If you can't get your chest all the way down to the box, that's okay. We add some more risers and figure out where you're starting, and as you keep working them, we'll remove risers, and that's how we're gonna know you're getting stronger, challenging that resistance a little bit more. You're looking for 5 good reps, which means maybe you could have done a 6, but you're not gonna do that 6th one. You're looking for 5 solid push-ups. We'll go back and forth on the squats and push-ups for this set. Okay, so for our finisher for this workout, we're gonna be doing kettlebell swings or go bag hinges. We're gonna push the sled down and back, and then we're gonna get 10 strokes in on the skier here. So for that first exercise, if you haven't worked kettlebell swings with us yet, you'll work that go bag hinge, push that kettlebell into your stomach here, sit that butt back, pushing your hips straight back toward the wall, soft bend in those knees, drive on up. We're keeping that shin perpendicular to the floor here. Drive up, squeeze those glutes, tuck that tailbone, push that air out here. If you're working those swings, you'll get it set up, breaking that bell so it's a couple feet away from you. Hike it back towards your butt, drive on up, squeeze those glutes tight at the top, pushing that air out. Stop that kettlebell right there at your chest, yank it back down. Play chicken with that bell, so wait till the last second to hinge at the hips, drive back up, pushing that air out, pull that kettlebell right at your zipper. You'll park that bell, and then you're gonna push the sled down and back. Shoulders stay down and away from those ears. I want you to think about pushing the foot into the floor so hard that you're tearing the carpet. Drive that other knee up towards your chest here. Push that pace. I want you working as fast and as hard as you can on this one. Driving all the way down, coming back, and then we're gonna finish up on that skier. We'll make some room for you over here. Reach high. Pull hard in this one. Think about coming up to your toes, reaching for that top shelf. Sit your butt back, push that air out as you pull down. You're gonna do 10 hard strokes. It's a deep breath in at the top, push that air out. Think about power, not speed on this one. It's not about going fast, it's about pulling as hard as you can on every single rep. And then check your meters at the end and see how many meters you got with those 10 strokes. So that's gonna be the finisher for this workout.